Hey, I don't think I need this. We need this up here. Do we have two? They could pass it back and forth, but it would be great. Good morning. People are settling in, and I'm so excited to see that we have people settling in on this day after the 4th of July. And I think folks are still getting some coffee and making their way, so I can make a little bit of hey, look at it's a 5th of July miracle. We had a house full. Paul, my husband, for those most of you know, how are we doing? Thank you so much, Jeffrey. I should have been a little bit ahead of time. Are we good? Do we all have a place? Excellent. Oh, this is a great thing. I don't think we've ever had 525 people show up on a Sunday morning. For those of you at home, on a holiday, I'm not kidding you. Oh my gosh, wow, this is awesome. I don't know if we have any places. Are these spaces available, Nancy Farish? Hey, here, come sit on the front row. I won't identify. Right here, we have 2 rows right there, and we'll just leave that back table. Wow, I'm so glad I'm sure we're live. Hello, all of you at home and that are coming in and taking their seats for our 4th annual speaker series. This began as kind of just a spoof, and it's no surprise to people who attend church regularly or who are regular irregulars, or that church attendance these days, statistically, is on a massive plummet. But most people, back in the day, for those of you raised in the church, experience or mosque, whatever experience you had in our world religions, when you said you went to temple or you went to church, it meant you went like what? 3 out of 4. 4 out of 4. Come on. In some places you had, perfect attendance pins and things like that. Well, I have a whole pile of those golden things in the back, because what perfect attendance looks like now is our average attendance really is 1 to 2 Sundays a month, and we're excited for that to be. We're glad that people still value community and fellowship. And Park Street, we've really loved the fellowship and community, but summer comes, we put our Easter bonnets away, and then we go, I don't know if I really feel like getting up on Sunday morning, right? So 4 years ago, I thought, well, why don't we do something different? And I'd had some conversations about outreach experiences, and I said, why don't we bring people in to talk about their passions or what they consider sacred. And it doesn't have to be in a traditional sense of what old school religion said was sacred. It would be, we're going to come and it lifts our spirits. And usually then we invite people from outside of our faith fellowship here, and would start asking them questions. And we wanted to also break bread around tables and just do things differently. So for those of you, the millions, subscribe to this channel that are out there. Before I go any further, give me a thumbs up. But welcome, Freddie, to the reality or lack thereof of Park Street Christian Church. We just wanted to treat this different experience, and I was trying to explain it. I'm having a hard time explaining it to you guys, and you're sitting right here in it. To this feeling I had about creating a feeling and an experience. And we did this, our regulars and even our regular irregulars were like, can we just do this every Sunday? Because we're going to be breaking bread together. Even in this tradition, that whatever you've come from, or maybe you've walked away from a tradition, we're using it for what breaking bread means outside of any faith tradition, is breaking bread. Now, the regulars already know this, but there are no pop quizzes. The word companion means coming together to break bread, pan being bread and community. So we really are trying to embrace that during the latter part of our service. So what we'll be doing, you can look at on your tables is like an order. It's very pretty. It's the larger one. And if you want to pick that up, that's kind of how we're going to be doing worship or our community time over the next weeks. And on the back side, I encourage you to read the bio of this year's first summer speaker, and that's Freddie Jackson. You'll be hearing more about him later. Something else we'll do, if you'll see it towards the end of it, it says Q&A. Each table should designate, they tend to self-designate a table host or hostess who will be the person that during the time of breaking bread will follow the leader, that's me for today, on how we will fill chalices and bread, how we will bless the bread in our tradition. I want to say to those of you, so can someone just figure out who's going to be your table leader? Renee, come sit over here. There's room. Sit right here, Renee. Come on. Don't soil the napkins back there. Come on and be part of it. So Renee is such a celebrity. She's tired of the paparazzi. At least she doesn't wear a big sombrero and sunglasses anymore. Okay, here we go. So if we can find whoever is going to be the table, I'm going to do all this housekeeping up front. Who's going to be your table host or hostess? Please find a pair of rubber gloves, and that is so that for those of you who don't want the germs of the table host or hostess breaking the bread, that's what those are for. To my table host or hostess, when I say, we're going to do this together. I have done this for 4 years, right? I'll say, now what we're going to do is we're going to raise the bread together, and you're going to find that bread, and you're going to break it when I say it, and then you're going to set it down right back to where you got it. And then I'm going to say, and then we're going to raise the chalice. And you raise the chalice. And we will say a blessing. And then what will we do? We'll set it down. And then I will pull the trigger. When I say, and now, while we're listening to some lovely background music, please share that. So don't start slicing the bread now. And please just, every year I do this. I think now we're all going to look at you. So when you start slicing the bread, start shoving it in people's mouths before I say, you're all going to go, stop it. We might just do that. Welcome to Park Street Christian Church, to our 4th annual. But there's one other thing I'm going to tell you about. One more thing. Oh my gosh. Do you remember when the teachers say, don't pick up a pencil yet? Remember that? Don't pick it up. I'm not done yet. And you start putting your name, and they'll say, don't put your name on there. Yeah. All right. That's me today. Because we have a lot of educators in here, and you are the worst. All right. Table host and hostess, you will also find you have a pile of pens, and there are little cards that have a little question. There you go. Nancy Ferris, can you show that? Okay, that is going to be during the time that this interview is going on. So for those of you who haven't been here, yes, this is not church regular. You might have a question you want to ask the person that's being interviewed. Write those down. And then at the end, we're going to have this wonderful table experience. And at 8 minutes on the nose, DJ's right, when the special music gets to 8 minutes, our greeters are going to come, and they're going to collect the thousands and millions of dollars that you're going to give to this great establishment. And more importantly, the question you might want to have. And then they will be sorted out. And today's interviewer is my sister Leslie. She will be looking through. I know her. She will consolidate your questions. If your question is not asked, it's because she doesn't like you. She can't read your handwriting, or she thinks your question is really silly. No, I'm just kidding. She's going to do a job of kind of synthesizing that. Are we all ready? We are 10 minutes in. That means we're going to go 5 minutes over. So with all of that, my dear friends, we are going to begin this 4th annual. Are you prepared? Are you ready? Yes. All right. Okay. So hit it, Donna. Okay.
How's everybody doing breathing this morning? I think Colleen needs to sit down and practice a little bit. She needs to take a nice deep one. So we're going to do a song that we have, I guess, done for is this the 4th year? Really? Wow, that we've done as an opening song for 4 years. So there are many of you that will know this song. It is in 3 parts, so I will teach the parts. I know somebody looked at me like, what? Panic, but it's really easy. So the first part goes, and I'm going to ask Paul to lead the first part, and I'm going to ask Cheryl to lead the third part, and I will stay, well, no, Colleen, maybe you could do the second part. Just from your seat, it's fine. Okay. Okay, so the first part goes, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now, if you want to just keep doing that, that's fine. But then there's the second part which goes, when I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out. One more time. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Now, for the people that like a challenge, the third part goes, when I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. Again. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. All right, so just decide in your head which part you want to be. And we'll start with breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. Keep going. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love.
Hello. Hello. The following excerpt is written by Dorothy Nolte, which may be familiar to many, in fact, as it's been shared in this welcome table in years past. Dorothy Nolte, it is Nolte, right? Or Nolte? Okay. Was an American writer, family counselor, teacher, as well as a lifelong lecturer on family life and a movement awareness specialist, a Rolfing instructor. She is, however, best known for her poem, Children Learn What They Live, which I will share with you now. If children live with criticism, they will learn to condemn. If children learn with hostility, they will learn to fight. If children live with fear, they learn to be apprehensive. If children live with pity, they learn to feel sorry for themselves. If children live with ridicule, they'll learn to be shy. If children live with jealousy, they will learn what envy is. If children live with shame, they will learn to feel guilty. If children live with tolerance, they will learn to be patient. If children live with encouragement, they will learn to be confident. If children live with praise, they will learn to appreciate. If children live with approval, they will learn to like themselves. If children live with acceptance, they will learn to find love in the world. If children live with recognition, they will learn to have a goal. If children live with sharing, they will learn to be generous. If children live with honesty and fairness, they will learn what truth and justice are. If children live with security, they will learn to have faith in themselves and those around them. If children live with friendliness, they will learn that the world is a nice place in which to live. If children live with serenity, they will learn to have peace of mind. With what are your children living? To close our readings for the day, an African proverb, which warns us of the generational consequences of neglecting the world's children. The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down just to feel its warmth.
I'm going to be real brief about this. So Freddie and I met years ago. It was my first year here at Park Street, and he was just starting. I don't want to say fledgling, but this new dream he had. I had set up a booth. I feel like it was at Ix Park, and I was so taken by the merch that I could see that was coming off of it. It was and it was free. I should say merch. It was free. Love No Ego. I just loved it right away. I loved it, and I went over. And I just know that he wrote it in his diary at night. And I introduced myself to him, and I said, I'm a new pastor in the area, blah, 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 and I just think this is so wonderful. And he was just starting this out. So I followed and have kept up with the work of Love No Ego. But in happen chance, a lot of you know I was flying down to South Carolina quite a bit this year to see my cousin. And I think it was a March trip. I was sitting on an airplane with this person that looked really familiar, and it was Freddie. He had just been sharing some of his wisdom out in Texas. He and his wife were coming back, and we just chatted it up, and I said, I have this speaker series at my little church, and I think you would be perfect. And he said, I only have one weekend in July that I'm available, and it's today. And we are grateful that you, and I'm not, he had to travel to get here today. He had another experience that he was at yesterday. So I want to thank you, and I want to now invite my sister Leslie, who's going to be the interviewer, and the interviewee will be Freddie Jackson. Please welcome him. Here you go.
Test.
Testing 1, 2.
Okay, ready.
Thank you.
I have my questions here on my phone. So, thank you for being here with us today. It's I know I forgot it was so live. It wasn't holding it real close. I know. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey so far? What was your childhood like?
Originally from Buckingham County, so I ran through the woods all day. The journey thus far it's been wonderful. It's been miraculous. I wouldn't be who I am without the journey, right? So I'm grateful for it all, the challenges, the good times, not so good times. But being from Buckingham County, my dad was a mechanic and also a nightclub manager. Yeah, in Buckingham. And my mom worked in this clothing factory in Fork Union, sewing our clothes and stuff. But she was heavily into the church. So I would go with my dad Saturday night and go with my mom Sunday morning, and it was part of the deal. I couldn't go with dad and not go with mom. That was not working. But I became a DJ at like 12 years old. I was actually in that club at like 13 DJing. Saw a lot of things that were not so good. But the next day, I saw a lot of things that were so good, But I got into music, played the drums, played a little piano, and I've been all over. Now, just kind of bullet point some things. I'm a former college athlete, former music artist. Lived in Austin, Texas, music town, LA, Los Angeles. Still get residual income from songs I wrote 20 years ago.
Mailbox money.
Yeah, that's the best. But so the journey's been awesome. It's been a lot of challenges as far as just saw a lot of drug activity coming up. Lost a few cousins early, a few uncles, overdoses, just unfortunate things. But my mom was there. She was authentic with her communication. I'm so appreciative of that. Whatever it was, she said, if you can talk about it, it'll get better. Like, so go ahead, express yourself. What needs to be said. So I can sit here today and be truly, truly like just live in the present and live in this moment and this now, and be grateful for whatever that was.
You were lucky to have balance
Yeah.
in your life, so you saw the world in 360, right?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And I had some great coaches along the way, some great deacons in the church, some great pastors. Like I had some great inspiration around me as well. So that played a big part in me being motivated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Colleen and I were lucky enough to have a pastor growing up who had a big world vision actually for a little town in Crawfordsville, Indiana. And I think we both came up just thinking the whole world was like, as far as religion goes, ready to accept and embrace one another because of that. So, fast forward, it's like, wow, that's not really what the church typically does. So, so it sounds like you've had a great journey. What did your early professional direction or development look like when you started to realize that you wanted to take your experience and move forward with it, helping change other people's lives?
Yeah. I got tired of my ego not holding me up and not fulfilling me. Um, Out there searching for something that was already given to me, and would get that thing and I'll be happy for a little bit, but it just wears off. And I just started to, with that authenticity at an early age, I just started to contemplate more and look inward. And, God is there. And if you give it the space and create the conditions for what you want, like it's going to do what it does, right? So I forgot what the question was. Where you at?
What did your early professional
Oh,
direction or
okay.
development look
Yeah.
like? And I guess also when you started going into that direction, did it surprise you and surprise the people that you
hmm
associated with and knew? I mean,
Mhm.
it must have been,
Yeah.
you had a diverse background. So there were
Yeah.
probably a few people going, huh? What's
Yeah.
he
So
up
I
to?
was so heavy into my ego. I was a leading scorer my first 2 years in college playing basketball, and I ran cross country. I became a personal trainer. So I was just, all into myself in this thing. And I got injured. I broke my right ankle and I missed the season. And then I dislocated my left ankle and missed the next season. So it was like, sit down, Freddie, be quiet. That's what something was telling me, like, just sit down, and and the other mistakes that I made were relationships and just, I hurt people, not intentionally, but it's just through my ego. I let a lot of people down. I hurt them, and I just could not begin. I just had enough of it. I couldn't live with that no more. So I have a mentor to this day, and I was sitting down with him. So I was like, I had produced about 5 music albums at this point. And I told him, I said, I'm going to do one more music project. And he was like, oh boy, what's this one called? And I was like, it's called Love No Ego. And he was like, oh, what? What's the name of that? I said, love, no ego. He's like, oh, that's really cool. So it's a music project out there called Love, No Ego that I wrote like 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And he said, I like it, but, it doesn't belong in music. So, music's so saturated, everybody's doing a thing. And he said, you should do something else with it. So when I was in college, I worked with at-risk youth in Pittsburgh. I became a case manager. I was a life skills coach. I ran some camps for kids. And when I moved back in 2012, with the mistakes that I had made living in my ego, the way of the world and how the world sends you all the messages of the ego, it's more in your face than love is,
Mm.
I said, when I move home, I'm going to start a nonprofit. It's going to be called Love No Ego. And we're going to mentor youth. And I'm just going to help them to do my best to help them to get to the message a lot sooner than I did.
Mhm.
That's it.
Mhm.
It was that simple.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't super simple, like that simple.
I'm a simple guy. Like,
I mean,
I was just like, okay, there it is. Go over there. It's right there.
But the
Go do it.
idea of like starting a nonprofit with your inspired, the gift of your broken ankle. I mean,
Mhm.
basically, a lot of times we get hit with these things, these physical things, and we think, oh, this is the worst thing that could ever happen.
Mhm.
My life has been destroyed. But then in hindsight, we realize that it was a gift in a way,
Yeah.
if you knew what to do with it. But I'm intrigued about how you took that gift and actually like create a nonprofit. I mean,
Mhm.
can you briefly say how something like that happens in
Yeah.
case there's anybody out here that's like, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Like,
It's awesome when you decide. Like when you decide, like the universe, God loves, listens. Like, cause you start moving on your decision.
Mhm.
Like I'm not going to go over there if I've already decided that I want to be there.
Mhm.
And so en route to there, you show up. You show up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
People show up.
Yeah.
Resources show up. So when I broke my ankle the first time, or broke this one before I dislocated this one, that whole 2-year period, I started writing more. I used to write poetry. That comes back from the Buckingham days and going to the club with my dad. I used to write like poetry and songs, and that's how I got into the music. And when I broke my ankle, I started writing about it, and I was writing these songs, but it was more like it sounded like a relationship between a man and a woman. I was like talking about how much I miss you. I can't wait to see you again. I was actually talking about basketball. And- yeah. And they thought I was talking about some woman or some potential partner or whatever it might be. And that led me to like Austin, Texas and California, and I'm writing. And the whole time I was moving through those spaces, I got a master's in psychology. I got a second master's in organizational development and leadership psychology.
Oh, the organization.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, I was moving and still pursuing my education and trying to get better as a person and knowledge wise and information wise. And when I decided that this was going to happen, I just started meeting the right people. One of my best friends introduced me to this lady he was dating just started dating. He dated her for like 4 months. And I met her when they started dating. And she had formed like 100 nonprofits. She does it for professional
Wow.
athletes all over the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is beautiful. And after she finished with me, they broke up. And I was like, that was for me, I guess.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But stuff happen. It just happens that way. And when you trust, when you have that trust, like I trust beyond people. Like I don't feel like anyone can hurt me.
Mhm.
Like I trust way out there, like the vision and love and God. Like life is eternal. So I mean, what's next is going to be just as good.
Yeah.
So I kind of move with that love and that trust, and yeah, there's the paperwork and all of those things that you have to do, but I met the right people, right time, great resources, went right through it. I had it in like 8 months, you know?
Wow, that's a spectacular short period of time.
Yeah.
In your experiences, since you've really been going at this now for how many years now?
10.
10 years.
Mhm.
Um, can you think of a moment, a child, a person, one of those people that came into your life that really had the most impact on you? I know that through volunteerism, many times we get back so much more than we even feel like we've put into it. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about volunteering is you show up. It's a pain in the butt, part of the time,
Mhm.
but something happens, like the world opens up and you realize just how much this means, not only for yourself,
Mhm.
but for the other person. Is there a person, a child, a moment that you really felt like is a highlight?
Yeah, there are multiple ones, and I'm grateful to have those interactions and opportunities to serve and be served. Um, they're deep. This one kid, and these stories that I'm sharing, they've given me total consent to share. This kid, Max, he was in a very, very, very dark place, and mom called the office line, and I could hear it in her voice. She was very scared that Max might not be here later this evening. Like it was that serious, you know. And I said, okay, we got to do something, you know. I said, what are you doing this evening? 5 o'clock, you know. This is no paperwork was in yet, no documents filled out, and we met at Wegmans and we sat out there, and I met Mom and Max, and I said, what are you doing this weekend? Explained the program to him. Um, Gave Mom the links to fill the paperwork out, and me and Max, we started like not the next day. I think it was like that Sunday. We started out with a sunrise hike. Our program is nature based too. So everything's outdoors. You know, nature does what it does. You guys know that, right? Um, and he went from a very, very dark place um, to love and exercise. He still goes to Humpback Rocks like every other Friday when he's around, and he takes a group of friends. Um, we had a partnership with Wegmans where we could do job placement. He was of age and he got a job at Wegmans. He was in the mentoring program as well as he had the Wegmans community and family. Our pillars of the organization are spirituality, education, exercise, community. Spirituality, education, exercise, community, and anything that we do touches on one, multiple, if not all of those pillars. And he just got into a great rhythm, had great support. He was interested in engineering. We called up exercise in that community pillar. We called up Albemarle Heating and Air and said, hey, we have a kid here. We see him every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 5. He's interested in engineering. Do you happen to have any space available where we could come together and just see what happens? You know, share some things with this kid about engineering. They loved it. We did it. Kid became an engineer at Bodo's. I didn't even know Bodo's needed engineers. I just saw bagels, you know. But he's all up in the machines, and he's sending me pictures while he's in there and stuff. And he took a gap year. He is now in a college at Kansas. He restores cars, but mostly importantly, he's happy. He's healthy. He's very appreciative. Um, he's practicing at life. That's something that we say all the time. Like you got to practice at life. You know, we practice at this, we practice at that, we practice like what about life? Like are you practicing at life? So that's something that sticks. That was a beautiful story. You know.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That was really a great example of how you can intervene and also encourage other people through the mentoring program, which I think is very key whenever you're trying to make a movement go beyond yourself, right? The mentoring thing is very important. So do you have mentoring set up here in this community? Is this something that anybody out here that might be interested or has a friend that might be interested in it? What is that program like?
Yeah, so we have 12 mentors now, including myself. We're servicing about 29, 30 kids. Servicing meaning we see them at least once a week. They usually stay with us 1 to 2 years, ages 10 to 18, both male and female. Yeah, we are looking for more mentors. We're looking for, the kids. There's no shortage on kids. We have partnerships with Department of Juvenile Justice, Department of Social Services, Buckingham, Fluvanna, Charlottesville, Albemarle, Waynesboro, go up to Greene County. Where else we go? That might be it. But yeah, we'll look, so let me explain too how they come to us, and they come in from Department of Social Services and Department of Juvenile Justice. When they make referrals, they pay us for those referrals for our mentoring rate. And we just recycle that money back into the mentoring program, give some to the mentors, reimburse them for their time. And then our everyday community kids too, because the grandma wants, little Jacob in it, and we offset that with the grant funding that we receive and donations. So no one really pays for the mentoring sessions. But, we're looking for mentors, we're looking for volunteers, we're looking for just basic love, no egos.
So if somebody would be interested in mentoring, I think maybe one of the hesitancies might be, how can I relate to somebody that has a different background, upbringing? Will I just look like, in my mind, I think, will I just look like some stupid old lady that just, I don't know. I think that would be something that a lot of people would hesitate. Like, how could they relate to me?
Yeah.
How can I relate to them if we're so different? What's the connection there?
I think it's the message itself. It's love, no ego. And that means, we have a bunch of ways that, or pivot phrases I was saying to you earlier. We use a lot of pivot phrases that helps us as team members, as well as our youth that we're serving, just sort of pause, consider, contemplate, possibly pivot and go this way with this new information, right? So as a person coming in, there may be some fears around that. But we say, if you have this desire on your heart and you know that it's good for you, like, why not move towards that? And also, we will use your strengths. We won't put you in situations where you are trying to control 5 males from the Department of Juvenile Justice over here, We're not going to do that to you. But at the same time, we want love, no ego for ourselves. We want to help each other understand where we are living from. And there's only one of 2 spaces you can be in at one given time. Like, you see my watch? What does it say?
What does that say? It says, I can't read it, it's upside down.
Oh.
No, this way.
This watch.
Oh, your watch.
Watch,
I was
yeah.
trying to read your tattoo.
No.
Okay. Now?
Now. So we all get now watches. The time is now. Mentors get them, kids get them, and it's just helping us stay in the moment. So you can't be anywhere else, right? Like, even 2 seconds ago, it's gone. We can't get it back.
That's right.
So yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not here. Tomorrow's an illusion. It never comes. When it gets here, it's still the day, right?
Yes.
So we talk about this now, and we say, okay, which space are you going to occupy? Like, which space are you occupying the most? Is it love? Or is it fear? Is it truth or illusions? It's this beautiful universe and playground that the Creator gave us, or the world with all the stuff we made up? Is it life or is it death? Is it light or darkness? So we just go with this, like, powerful foundation for success that helps us and the kids contemplate like, okay, it's noon. Stop. Look back over your day so far. Which space have you occupied the most?
Yeah.
You got up, you grabbed your phone,
Yeah.
you haven't brushed your teeth yet.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
We relate it to everything. Love No Ego is applicable to everything. When we go out to eat together, it's like, okay, are you feeding your ego or are you feeding yourself? Like your
Wow.
true self, you know?
Well, that is a great, and I saw the now on your watch, but I thought it was some kind of brand or something. I'm like, what's that? I haven't seen that one. So look, speaking of the moment, we've run out of interview time here.
Beautiful.
For the moment, and after we have our communion and break bread together, we'll have a couple more questions from our lovely group here. And I just have to thank you so much. It's just been incredible to hear what you have to say and very inspirational. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
This song is a prayer, and I believe it will help us choose the space or be in the space of now. So if you will join me in this prayer as you listen. We pray for the lonely one, knowing that some of us are lonely. We pray for the heartbroken ones, knowing that some of us are heartbroken.
we had said we were going to do this one song, and we've had some crazy weeks and days. And she said, "Oh yeah, can we do this song?" And I went, "I don't know that song." I don't know that song, Donna. She goes, "Yeah, you do." It was one of the songs that we recorded. So during COVID, when we would record services, Donna and I both live close together, and we've sung together for many years. And she often at an older church, a church that we both were part of, she would write songs, and she goes, "Here, make them a harmony," and we would do that. But that was an interesting one because we would set up in different places at my house. And we recorded that in front of, we have a fireplace. We live in a really old house. I have a fireplace in my bedroom. And I remember it's such a pretty song. I would get distracted. And, we were like recording on a phone, because those days. But we'd get almost to the end. And I know there's one of us would say the wrong word. I mean, I don't know how many times. So I really know that song because I think we had to record it like 17 times to get like, oh no, because we didn't have the editing tools. I mean, oh my gosh, it's nuts. So, but it's a beautiful song, isn't it? It's a beautiful song, and the words are, now, we are now at this place, at this table, where we're going to spend time of companionship. Some of you are sitting around with people that you know really well, and some of you maybe just met. And this is a time, not to put anybody on the spot, you don't have to confess it's not a point of confession. It's a time of breaking bread together. And we think about the intention in our tradition of Jesus coming during celebrating Passover with his closest friends, knowing there's a good chance this was going to be the last time, I will say in human form, or however you want to place it, from wherever you come from, and making the most of now, making the most of now. So we have a timer because we want to make the most of the rest of your day. So you're going, but I got left to have a roast in the oven. But if we can during this time of breaking bread together, make the most of now. I hope that you have filled out some questions that will be collected later. Don't worry, I'm sure somebody's come up with some good ones. But I want to thank you so much, Freddie. I think about our times, our encounters. It's just been magical. And when you're sitting next to someone who's like been just working and he's tired, and you go, "Can I ask you a favor?" But feeling that great God nudge or God wink to go, "Hey, what are you doing 5 months from now?" Was thank you for saying yes. Thank you for saying yes to now. Now, all of us table hosts that are prepped, whoever you are, we're going to follow. So I would ask that those of you who are facing forward, and when you turn your chairs around and face one another, and you're not going to stand up, we're just going to get prepared for the now of breaking bread together. Thanks, Les. Okay. Donna's ready? Donna's got it. We're all prepared. Look at this. Last night I had all my attention, everyone. Hello, bong, bong. Hello. So I have a table host that I know is going to follow me as I take the piece of bread. And as our dear beloved friend, Jesus, so many years ago, sitting with his friends, he raised the bread and he broke it and he gave thanks. And knowing that this was the now he needed to take great care of, he said, "Remember all that I've taught you, how much I love you, and take this out into the world." And then we place our bread down. And in the same way, he took the cup, and for you, there we go. He held it, he blessed it, and he prepared his friends to partake of this, saying, "Take and drink. This is a living water, forever, coursing through your life. Don't forget me." So now what I'm going to ask, on your tables you have grape juice. We want to make this a welcome table, so alcohol-free, gluten-free, vegan bread. There's also Did you do a traditional bread as well? Because Nancy Farish bakes this every week for us. You have a gluten-free option, and which one is which? The flat brick shape, that's gluten-free. It tastes spectacular, and it's vegan. And then you have another traditional diamond-shaped loaf that's traditional bread. So what we'll be doing is we're going to be filling the cups. Your table is going to fill these cups, and you can go back for seconds. Don't worry. You can go back. You have to go back for the juice and for the bread as we have some table time. And bless each one of you as you take some time getting to know your companions. So I'm just going to give you like a 1-minute warning. I know it's always hard. This is the hardest thing to do. But if we want to wrap up our conversations and so that we have time to ask Freddie some questions, it would be great. Thank you, you're so good. While you're turning your chairs around, turn your chairs around, okay? Always a song. This past week I was recognizing we have a lot of birthdays in July, and I know that I was referencing some of the sandwich birthdays today. She's not here today, but Elaine Harris is having her birthday. My sister's having a birthday tomorrow. I think Mike Davis is having a birthday this week. I know by next week, I know Miss Avis, Avis is not, well, she's still with us, but we've got all these birthdays. We have Avis, we have DJ. Kate has a birthday. I mean, I'm going to miss them, but I mean, I was going to say, I don't know what your parents were doing, but I don't know if they called each other up and said, let's populate this world. There's one of our July birthday. Very happy to have that. And I'm just grateful that we've had this opportunity. We're going to have, as I said, I mean, we were getting all the housekeeping done up front, so we're going to run a little late today. And I know that this is one of the Sundays where you're going, oh, do we have to go get out of here so early? Because we have so many questions. And I'm going to invite Leslie and Freddie back up here and thank all of you for coming. Invite your friends to come to this. For those of you who are regulars, this is a wonderful opportunity, just to share life together in the now. So my two pulpit platform people, take it away. You got like really 5-ish minutes left. Leslie 5-ish minutes.
Test.
Okay. Okay.
1, 2.
Well, let's get right into it then.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good questions here. I'm going to try to consolidate a couple of them into one. And one of them is, and I kind of addressed this earlier, for people that are interested in mentoring, what is the time commitment per, weekly, hourly? Is there an age that's too old to participate in one way or another, I guess? And I think let's just go with that.
Yeah. So the time commitment, we usually at minimum see our kids for 2 hours once per week at minimum. Sometimes there are 2 sessions per week as a mentor. However, we have some people who may inquire to be a mentor, and they may feel like they're not a great fit at the time. They still can come on and help facilitate workshops because we feel like you have something to offer, right? It could be sitting down and teaching kids to knit. We do outdoor youth adventures, and they start at like 6 in the morning sometimes, and we're going all day. We'll go to the Blue Ridge, we do hikes, we come back, we'll do a kayaking, we do hammocking, and we might meet you at Darden Towel from 10 to 12, and we do some knitting, and we go on with our day. But we try to utilize the strengths and exercise patience as well, because we've had some mentors come on, didn't exactly fit in that moment where everyone felt comfortable. She wanted to feel comfortable. We want you to feel comfortable. So, but later she led a workshop on healthy food choices, So it's applicable any and everywhere to life as long as you're human and breathing, right? So, that's pretty much the time commitment. And then we have, some trainings that we go through. We have in-house training, Love No Ego training, and then we have the trauma-informed care, mandated reporter, all the necessities that we need to show up.
So another question was, are you working these programs in the schools? And something about camping and hammocks. Can you briefly talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so yeah, we are working it in the schools. Schools can contract us in for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and we'll come every Friday from 12 to 3 p.m. We let them designate the students they want in the program. It usually starts with when we go to a school, it usually starts with a full-on presentation, full-on assembly. We want to positively hijack your community, right? And we come in, we shut it down. Everybody comes to the gym, teachers, principal, all the students, and we just have a beautiful Love No Ego celebration while giving them the message, giving them the pillars, and giving them ways to practice it. Then we come back and we have a lunch date with them. We stay for all 4, usually 4 lunch periods, to kind of, hey, how's that Love No Ego message going for you? I see the sticker on your laptop. Are you living it? Are you practicing that life? And kids are more authentic usually than adults are. They have less layers of the world on them, right? So, they ask questions. They are very intriguing, and they want to know that curiosity is still there. So they help bring the best out of us for when we show up. And then we'll come back after lunch, and we'll start doing like maybe 2 to 4 workshops. Taking a deeper dive into those pillars, like spirituality. What does that look like for you? Like, what do you do for that? Mr. Freddie, what do you do for spirituality? I watch the sunrise just about every day, no matter where I am. It puts it all in perspective for me, So I start there. I read the word, I read this, I read that. I sit still, I do nothing. I lay on the floor for 45 minutes and do nothing. I be with myself, So we help them facilitate ways that they can practice those pillars, and we actually do it with them in the school. It's pretty cool.
And the hammock?
Oh, hammocks are necessary. We have hammock parties. We have everything we do is kind of themed behind the message. So imagine, you're getting this $25 hammock, and we go hiking, and we say, okay, let's have a little discovery session. We're gonna put our hammocks up here. So when we start, we have them choose their trees. We choose them. We can often name them. Like this tree might be mom, and this one might be soccer. Okay. They put the hammock up. We teach them how to do that. And while we're in the hammock, we have Love No Ego gold cards, right? And it says on the front, it says love over ego, love over fear, communication over conflict. On the back, it has 3 questions, and they fill it out while they're in the hammock. They fill it out, and then we start the conversation. It's okay. Why'd you name that tree mom? Why'd you name that tree soccer? Oh, because, those are 2 people, 2 things I turn to, when things get challenging. And they kind of hold me up like the trees are, So, okay, all right. And when you're levitating in the middle of the woods, like, love is going to do what it does, man. Like, it takes the pressure totally off. And next thing you know, you're just talking,
Oh my gosh, that is so creative.
We hammocks are like, we need our own Love No Ego hammocks, I swear, because we probably have purchased at least a couple of hundred of them. Yeah.
That is very creative. That's great. I also had somebody to ask about if you have programs that are for veterans or adults. I don't know if you're only specializing in children or if this has branched out into other things.
Yeah, so about 2 years into it, I started getting a lot of calls from the corporate world about what's this Love No Ego thing. And I told them, and they asked for me to come speak to the employees. Do they think I could share it with the employees? And I said, yeah, totally. Had no plan, nothing. The first adult speaking engagement I had about and surrounding this message was to Apex Clean Energy, like one of the biggest companies I feel like here. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I thought I was going to go, talk to, I don't know, the cooks at Golden Corral or something. I don't know. I'm trying to boost, morale, and I was like, ooh, what am I going to say to these lawyers? It was their legal team. I was like, man. So, I created a lane for that. And now I go into the corporate world and I speak in the corporate world about ego in the workplace, showing up authentically, get people to employees and team members to defend the mission and not the ego. Right? You signed up to be here. Like you're playing for Park Street Church right now. Like that's the logo. That's who we're playing for, not the name on the back. Right? My mentor told me that a long time ago. He's like, when I used to play basketball and I was telling you about the ego I had, I used to cut all the articles out of myself. And I put them on the wall. I send them home. I make copies, It was a mess. I had it all over the wall. And my mentor at that time, you might know Pastor Carter. He's from the Crystal Cathedral in Dillwyn, Virginia. He was assistant superintendent of Fluvanna County. He mentored me for a long time. But he told me one day we were sitting in his office. He goes, I'm just talking about my basketball and everything. I dropped 30 points. Woo, I'm in the paper. And he goes, you okay? You all right? And I was like, what do you mean, all right? Like, look at all these articles on me, man, And he said, I'm going to tell you something, He said, I want you to, take it to heart. He said, when you can play for the name on the front, they'll naturally remember the name on the back, right? So I was like, okay. But, I'm still going to cut these articles out, this paper.
Well, look,
But that stuck with me forever. And I was like, so whatever job I had, wherever I was going, I was about that company, even if I didn't like it. Even if I had a 2 weeks notice in, I was leaving. I was just giving what I had for that day.
that's great. I know we are out of time, but I see you have something there on your
Yeah.
lap, and one of the questions was, have you written books? Are these books that you've written?
Yeah, these are books that I've written, and I'm going to gift them to your community, right? So this one is called Love No Ego, Where Are You Living From? Right? It highlights all those societal spaces and boxes we check, like, white, black, left, right. I don't even know what a lot of it means anymore. I sold my TV like 10 years ago. Like, I don't watch TV. I mean, you cannot not watch it because it's always in your face somewhere, right? But I got rid of it, and the energy in the house is just much more vibrant and much more serving, So Love No Ego, Where Are You Living From? I signed it, and that's for you guys. And I also have, this one is called the User's Manual, YOUSER. So a long time ago, I was just cleaning up and I saw all these manuals around the house. I'm like, all these manuals, phones, DVD players, all this stuff. And I was like, what about a manual for you? Like, a manual to you, life. So that's why I spelled it, YOU.
So this is a manual that you actually do read.
So this, yeah. Right. And I shared like 20 principles in here that I practice and they worked for me. And I took pictures along the way as I was writing it. So there's a picture of me like kind of meditating and this bear like walks in front of me. I'm like, hey, Yeah, so at that, 2 books, and they're available on the website as well. And I just left you guys a couple of flyers. And I have stickers, Love No Ego stickers. I'll leave those.
Yay.
And I have a business card if you want to connect further.
Thank you so much, Freddie. It's been
Yeah.
such a pleasure to have you.
Hey, I love you guys. Thank you for creating such a beautiful space and bringing such good energy and having me be a part of it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Join me in singing this closing song, which should be familiar if you've been in any of these Divine Speaker series. This is based on a traditional Buddhist meditation filled with loving kindness. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I sing it for everybody in the room. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at
So take this message that we've received and shared, love no ego. It's a lot of work, but it's worth all the work. So go in peace, my friends, or don't be that peaceful. Go and with joy, make a lot of noise and let the world know that you're here to make a difference. Thank you so much. We hope that you feel welcome to come back anytime. Oh my gosh, they would love it if you just, pop me out of the pulpit there front. But with all that, so I'm sure that we don't want to keep Freddie too long, but I'm sure that he has some time that he can share and share some good vibes with one another on this July 5th, 2026.